Well, I'm the CEO of KPMG Australia, so I'm sure your listeners know who KPMG is. But yeah, so my day-to-day responsibility really is to run the organisation, and I do that through a great team that I've got around me, focusing on the strategy, on our people, and obviously how we're engaging with our clients and society more broadly.
Yeah, that's amazing and very big responsibility. So
some days it feels big.
Yeah. So we really want to take a back step and see like how Andrew got to where he is today. So,
Sure.
Andrew, what kind of child were you like growing up?
I was a pretty good boy, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a pretty good boy. I worked pretty hard. I wasn't the smartest guy in the class. I wasn't the least smart. I worked pretty hard and got decent results. I enjoyed sport a lot, so I played a lot of sport and enjoyed sort of a group of friends. I went to an all-boys school in Canberra, and yeah, I was very lucky with the upbringing I had.
That's cool. And what about in terms of personality-wise? Were you very introverted?
Well, no, I don't think I was particularly. I wasn't one of the cool guys. But I had a lot of friends and played a lot of sport and wasn't an introvert, but probably wasn't the biggest extrovert in the class either.
Oh, it sounds pretty good.
So somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And how did you sort of fit in the school environment? So you were very sporty. What about in terms of academics? Were you really enjoying that side of things?
Yeah, I did. I loved. I really enjoyed school. Absolutely enjoyed the whole thing. I grew up in Canberra, obviously, and so I just rode my bike to school. It was a kilometre and a half down the road. It was a great. In the 80s, there was no mobile phones, so everything you did had to be outdoors, which was great. And I really enjoyed English and history. My dad is a scientist, and I didn't do well in science, and I think that was probably a very big disappointment for him at the time.
Aww.
Yeah.
Damn, but you made it up to him in other ways. Hey.
Maybe now he's happy. Who knows?
Yeah, so cool. So in terms of career at the time when you were growing up, what were kind of your childhood dreams?
Well, I think I've said it before. My childhood dream was to play cricket for Australia. That was my childhood dream. But that would be a dream many Australian boys probably had at the time. And it's funny, I moved house recently, and you find all these old things you haven't seen for a long time. And one of them was my Year 12 yearbook. And in that I said I wanted to be a physiotherapist.
Oh.
I wanted to be a physiotherapist, probably, so I could be associated with sport and that sort of thing. In fact, I married, my wife was a physiotherapist, so isn't that weird?
Yeah, your dream came
sort of
true.
Got there in the end. Yeah, she hasn't done that for a while, but that was what she was doing when I met her, yeah.
Yeah, and do you know why you didn't go on to pursue physiotherapy?
I had no plan, really. I did, I guess when I left school, I took a gap year. I went over to be a tutor in a school in England, and I was over there for a year, and I never really applied. To be honest, I applied for a Bachelor of Economics instead, and no idea why. I suppose at the time I just decided that's not what I wanted to do, and I didn't do commerce at school. But I had an idea that you made money if you did economics, so I thought, well, I should do economics. That was,
wow,
pretty
amazing.
Superficial.
Yeah, and what about in terms of your parents' input into your sort of career decisions? Did they go, hey, Andrew, be a scientist. Hey, Andrew, do X, Y, Z?
Not really. It's an interesting question that. My parents didn't push me into anything other than push me in. They made sure I worked hard at school and that I got decent marks, but then they never had a grand vision for what I wanted to be. My dad, as I said, my dad worked for CSIRO, so he wasn't in business, so that wasn't really his background. So he didn't really know much about the accounting firms as they were. And my mum was the secretary to the headmaster of the school I went to, so it wasn't really sort of her background either. So they were just happy that I, went to uni and was getting good marks, and that was it.
Yeah, that's cool.